Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. For those of you who are in the installment group, just to inform you that we have a course, a live course starting on the 19th of April, just in case you want to complete your payment in time to start that course. This would be your choice. If you can afford it, don't rush. There's no need to rush. We'll do another one sometime in the year, and we'll do another one maybe before the year. We normally do 2 or 3. What you can also do for us, if you're in the group and you're already in the installment and you like what you're getting, you can help share the videos. This week it will be free to be on YouTube. You can help share them. If you haven't done that before, please use the opportunity this week, at least 1 minute, 2 minutes, you can find a day to go share it for us. Because beside the fact that it is there to help everybody, it will be promotional. This week one will also be promotional. So we'd love if you can help us share it, get the message out to people so they can make their own decisions if they want to join us. I'm not asking you to sell it again, just share it. Let's go, let's start. Dollar index. We're the dollar index. For those people who are watching it on YouTube, these are my daily webinars. They're absolutely free. It is for my group, which if you would like to join us, we have, I think you might have heard the early conversation. We have a course, live course starting on the 19th. So if you would like to join us, please let us know. Send me a Skype message. Let me put the Skype message out. MANGAL 457. So there are 2 ways you can join the group. First, you can either join the main group by paying for the entire course, and we have a live session, so live course, the live training session. It's a long 6 weeks training session, and it starts on the 19th of April. You can join by paying the full sum. Mango 7457. Is that correct? I think so. Did I put the Skype correct? Mango 457. I think so. Okay. Let me just make sure that is the Skype. Anybody knows my Skype address? Is that correct? Just give me a yes, because I don't remember it. I don't use it myself, so that's why.
Yeah, it's correct.
Correct, good. Okay, I'm trying to get the chat out. Why is it not coming? Okay, the chat is here. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that. So, you can either join the group by paying the full sum, or if you can't afford the full sum, you can join us by paying an installment. What does the installment mean? It means you're going to get my daily webinar until you pay it for the full course. Now, people have done that many different ways. Some people pay it within a year, some people pay it within 3 months, some people pay it within 6 months. It's up to you how you can afford to pay it. There's no rush in that. For all the details, send me the Skype message and you will get all the details on how you can join us. What do you get when you join the group? It's pretty easy. Forget about the course itself. You're paying for the course, but forget about that, because that's the least of what you're going to join my group for. There are many, many courses out there. If you just go Google Forex course, you're going to find 1 million courses out there of all costs and all quality and all kinds of nonsense too, including a lot of scamming one and all of that. I'm not going to go into the details of that. You will have to make that choice of your own, which one you choose. But if you're going to choose mine, make sure that you look through my videos. Make sure you look at what I'm doing. Make sure it's in line with what you're doing. Make sure you like what I'm doing and you see that the work is going to help you. You can follow it for a period of time and see whether it's going to help you, whether that makes sense to you. If it does, then you're joining an amazing group of professional traders, which means we have hundreds and hundreds of traders who are actively trading in the group. And I know they're active because we're on Facebook Workplace and every member has to pay to be on the workplace. It's a very small sum, $4 a month. And it's an individual thing. We all pay to be there. So we know the active members in our group. And these are people who are trading. We have an active trading room that meets 5-6 times a day. I am there personally at least 3 times a day in the room. That's the minimum. Sometimes I'm there 4 times, sometimes I'm there 5 times a day in the room, where we actively discuss the trade setups. We use the strategies. We decide which strategy we're going to use to trade that. We have different strategies for different patterns, for different time frame, for how to catch momentum and all of that. We decide which strategy we're going to use, and we decide how we're going to trade it, and then we implement the trade. And then we manage the trade. The good thing about the trading is more of the management of the trade. What do you do with this trade now that you're in a trade for 4 hours and it's not going? What do you do with the trade that you're in a trade for an hour and it has moved already so much? Do you take the profit? Do you wait? How do you manage it? Where do you move your stop? All of that is discussed on a daily basis every single day in the trading room. You're not even paying for that. That is free. You also have lifetime access. What does that mean? That means as long as you're an active trader and you're a decent person, you get to stay in our room for life. That's all. You just have to be a decent person, behave properly, don't insult anybody, right? You get to join the trading room where you will get help whenever you want. People always ask me, do I get to ask you questions? You see me live 3-4 times a day, every day. You can ask, I will beg you to ask me questions. This is one of the only group you get all your answers. You get all your questions answered. Ask any of the hundreds of traders in the group. Now, there are a lot of things out there in the internet that people say about me. I don't give a damn. That's the number one thing you should know about me is I don't give a damn. Right? I'm here to help my traders be successful. And if they're willing to learn and they're willing to follow the rules and they're willing to say, okay, good, let's do this together. You can do it together with me every day in the trading room. If you don't want to, then don't make that choice. That's how much I don't give a damn. I'm not really selling you courses. I'm training you to trade. It's a daily training process. The course is just the basic materials you need to know before you can understand what we do. After that, the rest is a daily training process to become a professional. It's like anything you want to be good at, you have to train daily at doing it. I don't care what the hell you are. You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an athlete, I don't know, whatever you can think of. Even if you're a troll, you have to train daily to get better at it. And that is why a trading room where you train daily by taking trades, actively taking trades every single day. Sometimes we take a trade just to show you how we'll manage that trade. I'll tell my traders, look, this is not a very good trade. It's probably going to move 10 pips and then come back, but let's take it so we can actively manage this trade so that they get experience how to manage those trades. Those are the things we do. That is how you would learn. You want to join us? You're welcome. I think all of you by now, if you've been following for a year, you know exactly who I am and how I behave. There is no need for me to hide anything from anybody. You know me. I'm an open book. I say it as it is. So if you like that, join me. If you don't, then stay away from me. That's it. So let's go. I think that's not the best way to promote something and sell something, right? But like I said, it's not about selling courses. It's about helping you if you're struggling and you want to learn. I am not good at doing these ads, and I don't really put much effort into it. The efforts I put into training you is more than to selling you anything. So I hope you get the message. Let's go. I hate to do this, honestly. We'll have to do it for a week. So if you see this and you like the webinar, share it with friends. They don't have to join us. Even if they keep learning from these webinars, I am happy about it. One of the webinar you really need to look at is the concept of wave analysis that I put out. It will really give you an idea of how to look at the charts, regardless of whether you like my method or not, how to look at the charts. It will change your views on a lot of things. So please look at that, share it with everybody, make sure that thing goes viral, because it's basically to help you understand what the chart is doing. I will probably bring up a second part to that, which will go more into the details of the specific consolidation and what is happening inside of the consolidation. So that might give you a better idea as to what is happening there and why the market is always manipulated. It's always about manipulation to make money. So let's go. Dollar index. Dollar index, if you look at the weekly outlook, you would see I give you the long-term version. The shorter-term version right now is that this is going to go up. You would have to be careful with this because it might not break out, right? We don't have divergence here, so it might not break out. It might just break the top and come back right back down as a flat, right? So what are the chances of it breaking out? It's very slim. It could break out, but that's a very slim chance. Personally, I don't think they're going to break out. We can make an argument for running flat here if this wick is correct. I don't know if it is correct. Here's what you can do. You can take this trade if you have the skill level to do it. You can take this trade, but you would have to get out of the trade if they come here and they start to go back down. Now, that is something we do in the trading room. Now, I don't know whether you're able to do that. Taking a trade like this and get out before it becomes a losing trade for you, and then see what happens. But if they go out of the structure, I would say if you're not very capable of getting a trade like that, what you should do is allow it to break here, break through the last impulse, make a flag, and then buy. That would be a safer way of trading it. So what happens when we break the top? Well, when we break the top, there's a risk it might not go very far. So the buy this is dangerous buy, and then this also becomes not a very good buy because it might just break the top and come back deep. We have divergence here, and you're going to have divergence here. So this up move is probably going to be the last impulse up. This might be your last piece up before they pull back, if they go that much. If they don't go that much, and this actually makes a short move up here and start to come down, that's a perfect sell. 1 second, guys. Give me a second, please. Yeah, sorry about that. The sell becomes a perfect trade if this doesn't go up. If it just does that and start to come back down, then the sell becomes a perfect setup. Let me give you that again in the 1 hour. The sell is a better setup than the buy. This comes to the top here, start to go back down, go for the sell. Because that means we're going to have a deeper correction or a total reversal. The sell would be the better one. Gold is kind of pulling back, so I still think gold might go a little more. You might get a deep pullback even like that, and then we're looking for it to come to about this level and go down. So let me go through this pattern in a little detail, because one person has been sending me questions. I don't know whether he's really serious about it or he's just trying to be a nuisance. I hope he's serious about it. Remember when this was happening, what I said to you, when we see this, that's the most corrective part in the pattern. So that means this becomes your impulsive part. I mean, we've been doing this step-by-step, details by details with you, right? So you can go back and look at all those webinars. And we said if it breaks this low, they will go back to the top here and then come down. Every time I see a pattern like that, and since I'm doing forecasts, every time I see a pattern like this with an impulse like this and a correction like that, I would tell you the same thing. It might just break this low, go back up there, and then come down. So it dropped, and the person said, you said it's going to go up and it's dropping. So I explained to him, yes, it's dropping, but we're still in the consolidation. And then it dropped a little more. And he said, well, this one actually, we sold it. By then we figure out we'll get another drop. So we sold it and we took profit immediately because we know that it's not going to go very far. It did drop, and then it started to, as long as you're in here, you're still in consolidation. And I sent him an arrow. I said, this is probably going to go back up like that. So the next day drop, and he said, look, it's dropping again. You said it's going to go up. I didn't say it's going to go up. You have to understand patterns. And that's why, this is why you have to learn these patterns. You just can't watch my video that I give you free and expect to know it. This could have even broken the low, but it still would go back up to make a running flat and then go down. What I'm saying is that this impulse is still going, but at some point this impulse stops, go back up, and then come down. See? I hope you learn. If you're seriously sending me a message about it to learn it, I hope you learned something. It came back up because that's what they always do. You're looking for a pattern that you know. I've shown you many of those patterns. I showed you this one where they broke the low, they come back up, make a running flat, then go. I've shown you the previous one. Let me go to the bigger ones that you can see. I've shown you this one where you get this. They didn't break the low, they go break the top, and then they come back down. We've shown you this one where you get this, they go to tag the top, and then they come down. We showed you this one, and we're showing you this one. Guess what this is going to be? You can make a wild guess. You have one up, you got to move there, and they're coming back to the top here. Make a wild guess what it should do, where it should go. If you know anything that I've been showing you, you can guess. You don't even have to be smart to do this. It's going to come down. Now, is it going to go down? Here's the question. Is it going to go down? I don't know. The point is not about you being right about this thing go down. I think people are missing the concept I'm trying to explain to you. It's not about whether it will go down. That is irrelevant to the pattern. We know patterns that behave like this. So we're saying if this comes here and start to go down, we will sell it. If it comes here and it goes higher, we will not be in a sell. That's the point. We'll not be in a sell. But guess what? When it breaks the top and it changes the structure for upside, we will be in the buy. But it has got to show us a change in the structure that says it is going to go up now. And that's what we do daily in the trading room. That's exactly what we do. Look at the changes. This was a buy setup. I told you this on Friday. You have a running flat here. It's a buy. It should go up to the upside. If you bought this not on Friday, I think it was on Thursday, so Friday market wasn't working. It went up. I hope you exit the trade. So what we're looking for, what happens here? This might just be a deeper pullback. Now you can look for sell setups in the short term if you get it. because I think the pullback will be deeper. Why? I look at the past here. I saw this deep pullback. You had a flag here. It didn't match with anything. We can make an argument for that one. That could go. We'll make an so somewhere where you'll make a pattern and then we'll get one more up. You can actually wait for the correction to finish, go for one more up and then downside. So there should be a buy set up here sometime this week, after which we will go down. See? As far as the simplest pattern is concerned, this is how it's going to behave. Can it change that and make a much more complex pattern? Of course. And within the entire week, I'll be updating it to you on a daily basis. If you're in my group, you'll get that update hourly, basically. Not every hour, but 5-6 times a day. Silver, told you it's going to go down, and it's keep going down. See? So I took off everything in silver because TradingView was asking, I had a lot of lines in there. Well, no, they're asking, they just sent a message. You might want to help clean up some lines so that it doesn't slow down the chart. So I cleaned up some of the lines. What we're looking at is we're within this structure. 1, 2, 3, up. Simple. Now what we do, we sold it down to this level. Is it the turn to the upside? I don't think it's the turn to the upside as yet. We have this sharp move, and we could match this sharp move with that one for a running flag. So if this starts to drop, wait for a flag and sell it. Let's see if we have a flag on the 1 hour. No, we don't. But if we get a flag, we can make an argument for this running flat. If you get a flag here today, you confirm the sell. Don't sell it without the flag because you can get this and then they go back up. They can still go up more. That will negate the running flat. It doesn't have to be a running flat. We're assuming that could be a running flat. That will negate the running flat, but now we will have to wait for buy setups. That means if we get a consolidation here instead of a flag, instead of this making a flag here, it makes a consolidation here, then we will buy it. But if we get a flag at the bottom here, we're selling today. Which one? Wait for it. Euro. Euro is in a consolidation also. I'm not going to go to the long-term process. You already have that on the weekly outlook. Look for this trade here and then possibly upside or breakthrough. Either is possible. Either breakthrough or upside because you're in a small consolidation. And I mean it's small. So that means the risk is it's not going to go. Let me set this correctly. Yes. So this breaks out. It will either do this and then go back up or it will break through. Take the trade and put it to break even. Right? When it comes to the bottom, put it to break even. And if it goes back up, you get a break even trade. We will get a buy setup. Maybe we'll get a buy setup somewhere here for the upside. We actually bought that. We get a buy setup. We'll get a buy setup here to go back up, make a new high. Or it's going to drop through. Either of those two is possible. Is the consolidation going to be bigger or is that all the consolidation? Go for the sell and then you'll see. Sometimes you have to take sells like that to get it early and then see whether the trade is going to go or not. Same thing with the pound dollar, right? We broke the top. This one is a better one because you broke the top. You get a sell setup here. Let's assume that becomes a sell setup. Take this trade to the low, right? Like this one. And then they would either go back up or they're going to continue to go down. Now be careful if this breaks the low. If you get this trade here and it breaks the low, or it comes close to this low, break the trend. That doesn't mean you have a sell setup here because this could still go back. This would be a flat, go back up and then come down. That is one way it can develop. Or this is all the consolidation you get and you drop. The previous one was similar to this. Look, this was the previous 1, 2, 3, and they dropped. So look for the sell setup. If you didn't take this sell setup, which we took, remember that? Go back and watch the webinars. We took that one. We took this one, right? And I think we even took this one here. So you can take the trade or you can don't take the trade. All right? Watch for it when it comes here and then see whether it breaks out. When it breaks out, watch this low. If it keeps going, you're traded. At any point in here return, we're going to come back to retest the top. See? Pretty easy. Let's go. Aussie. Aussie, we're looking for a buy. Here's the strange thing about it. I'm not looking for a sell on the Aussie. This is a reversal sign. So I want Aussie to come down here and I'm not selling it. I'm actually waiting to buy this to the upside. Now I could be wrong about that, but I'm not selling the Aussie. I'll probably sell the pound, maybe the euro, but I'm not selling Aussie. I'm looking for a buy on Aussie. So if I get a buy, if I see Aussie starts to consolidate here somewhat, go back up there, come back here and go. That's a perfect buy setup for me. So if Aussie does anything like that today, I'll be in the buy tomorrow. Now, would I buy this one here? Maybe, because it could be a running flat, which means it might come here, do this, come there, then give me this one as a running flat, and then go. So I will probably take the buy. If I get a flag here, I'll take the buy. New Zealand, I will do the New Zealand update for you guys, the New Zealand and New Zealand yen. So if you're following me in the community where I'm doing it step by step for you, one step at a time, how I analyze the chart and how we trade it, you can actually, you'll get an update on this today. So what we have here, it looks to me like another flat. Looks to me like they're repeating this, so we might get one more down. We do have divergence, so I'll be very careful with that. It could also be a bigger correction. What do I mean by that? Is that this might just come a little here, go back up there, make bigger corrections, keep going up for a while before they come. So it might not be the downside as yet. There's a buy setup here. It's not as good as the Aussie buy setup, but you can actually go for it if it becomes a buy. If you're going to sell this, don't sell this one. Simply because of the setup, right? Wait for this to probably drop out of here and then look for a flag and sell it. This flag, this is not so much a flag. That's more of a consolidation for upside. So I'm looking for buys in Aussie, New Zealand, sell on the Euro Pound. The Euro Pound sells are short term for now until they break through. So Euro Pound could go down and then come back up and go together with the Aussie and the New Zealand to the upside, which means Aussie, New Zealand consolidate to the downside, not actually making any impulse. CAD, I think this is going to go up a little more and then fall. So I think this is probably going to go break this top. We're looking for a small running flat there, and then we'll be looking for a sell setup. We're not buying the CAD here. As a matter of fact, there was a buy this morning in the trading room in the 15 minutes. I don't know if any one of my traders took it, but I told them they can buy this just to break the top. But that's not a trade for you guys. It's just for the trading room. All right. We saw this running flat. They'll go break that top. Sometimes they can spike higher and then come down. Why they might spike higher? Let me just go back and show you that on the chart so you can see it. If you go back and see the way they went down, put it in the 1 hour so you can see it better. The last 2 times. See this move here, they came down, they went back to the top and then dropped. They came down, they went back to the top and then dropped. So guess what this time? It's very simple. If you come down here and you want to go down, you might as well come back to the top here and then go down. So there will be enough sell setups here, but if we get a sell setup here, we'll take it. Now, could this be trying to go up? Well, if this is trying to go up, it's going to spend some more time here. This would be 1 part, you'll get 2 parts, you'll get 3 parts and then go up. Let's sell this one and see if it's going down or if it's going to go up. I think most likely they'll retest the low. By all means, it's showing like they're trying to retest the low and then go. This will go up, but I show you on the daily, right? They might get all the way to the bottom here in one single move. We're looking for a 3-wave structure, but if they get to the bottom here in a single move, that would be one big move to the upside. So keep your eyes on it. Swiss, that's a perfect sell setup. Whether it go or not, you don't want it better than that. You have everything you need. You've got this and you've got this. And if this drops, we trade it. If it doesn't drop and it come back to the top here, well, guess what? We're not selling it anymore. We'll wait for it to come back here and then we'll buy it. One more up. See, that's how structure changes. And that can change within a day. So the difference between wave analysis and Elliott wave or most other waves kind of nonsense you'd get out there is that we don't determine that this has to be an ABC and it's going to make another move up. We look at the pattern. We said, okay, tell me what this pattern is going to do. And if it does that, then we do that. It's an if, then. You know how you do programming in computer? If this, then that. That's the whole thing. Well, that doesn't look like if, then there's that. That looks like Chinese writing. Sorry, I'm not good at writing, right? You know that. So if it does this, then we sell. If it does this, then we wait for it to come here and then we buy. So it is if it does this, then what do you do? What's your strategy for that? And actually, you also have to know where it's going to go. And is there actually a buy or a sell setup? Maybe you can see it, but there isn't a sell setup. Maybe this is a good sell setup, but all this is going to do is do this and go back up, like I showed you in the pound and the euro, right? They might just do that and go back up. So those are not the best sell or buy setups. But this one is the best sell setup. Why is it? Because you have a daily structure. This is why it's important. we have this daily structure. And if this daily structure is correct, if we're correct about that being a running flat, we're going to come back to retest the low. And that would be an impulse to the downside. So if this, then this, then this. See how it works? Simple. If that pattern is correct, then we will go for this trade. Is it going to go? Who the hell cares? I always say, it's not up to you to decide what the chart is going to do. It's up to you to make an analysis that is based on something that works in the past. And then decide, well, if they repeat that, I should take advantage of it. If I'm taking advantage of it, but it's not going the way they repeat it in the past, then I have to get a hell out of it. And I have to have strategies and money management and trade management and how to do all of that. That's what trading is actually about. It's even investors are about that. An investor might think that this stock is a good one. He bought it. It was going good for the first month, and then it starts going really bad. He has to make a decision. If he thinks it's going to continue to go, he stays with the stock. If he doesn't think it has future, this stock is not whatever he thought was going to happen to it didn't happen, then he has to think how to bail out of it, right? That's how trading works in general, right? When you do ask anybody who actually trades manual thing, I had a shop for a period of time. I was a retail trader for a period of time, so I know how it goes. You buy stocks because they're new and you think this is going to be the best sale, and then, whoops, it didn't sell, not a single piece. And then you decide how the hell we're going to get rid of these because we wanted cash to pay. You have to have a cash flow in your business. So what you do, you cut price and you sell. And then you make money in the ones that sell well. That is what you're doing here. The same thing. You're the only thing, instead of buying commodities, you're buying currencies. You could be trading stocks. You could be trading anything. You're buying something and selling it back. That's all. So if this is going to be the pattern, if it is the pattern we think we see correctly, if it works correctly, we're in a very good trade, like the yen, like the dollar yen. If we were correct about this pattern, an impulse, a correction, and an impulse, then we should be buying all of these moves to the upside, which is what we are doing, and which is what I told you you should do, right? So what happens when it comes here? We're looking for another buy setup there. What happens when it comes there? Well, we are saying if this is a flat, we're going to go down. We'll sell. If it continues to go up, we stay with the trade. We'll have about 20 more trades to the upside. So we're looking for a buy setup today. I already have an entry order to buy. That's my entry order. Why? Because I still think they're coming to this level. That's my trade. It might give me 1 or 2 trades to the top there. We'll see. If, then I'll be in the trade. Aussie yen. Let's see what the bigger picture is on Aussie yen. You've got a perfect running flat. Told you about this here. Remember this one here? Look for trade setup. You have a sharp one here. I have to see if it belongs to anything here. Then we can buy this. If it doesn't belong, then it's going to make another one here, then go. But it will go. So it will go. Excuse me. Let's go. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. I think we can put that either with this one or with this one. Wait a second. If we put this as a flat, then there's a chance that this is open, which means if this comes back here, you're going to get it move up, pull back deep, and then go. So if we get this flat here, the buy from somewhere here becomes very good. So if you want to buy this, what if I'm wrong about that? Here's how it works. What if I am wrong about this and this thing takes off? And we come back and we said, you know what? I think all of this is one piece. Because you wouldn't know that now. You're not a magician. You're not going to know that. So here's what you can do. Take the trade. Just use a stop at a place where if they go there and come back, they will not take you out. That is called strategy. You'll have to build a strategy to make sure that if that happens, then you're not closed out in the trade and watch it go in your direction, because it will go in your direction. If you have any doubts about it, go back and watch the webinar when this was going up and what I was telling you about this one. Go back and watch. All those webinars are on YouTube. I am telling you, when no one is telling you that there is a sharp move coming, that there is a sharp move coming. And we got it. And that we are going to go back up. And we're going back up. So there's a high probability this is going to happen, at least breaking these stops. And then we'll see what happens. The dollar yen will also tell us what happens at that point. New Zealand yen. Well, this one you have a step-by-step analysis. You don't even have to ask me. Just go to the community and check it. We broke the low and we're going back up. See the slow climb, we're going back up. We're going to break this up, that's for sure. Question is, what happens when we break that up? Let's come here. Sorry. You see we have divergence in here? You see we have this big flat here? We're making a smaller one here. When we break that top, we're likely going to have divergence here. There's a high probability we're either going to go down for a bigger correction or we're going to reverse totally. So you have a trade to the upside. And I will keep following this. I'll keep doing updates on this for you guys. I promise you I'll try to do this as long as possible. So follow on make sure you set your notification to get whenever I post, because it's very random when I'm going to post on the community. I will probably make a video also. You'll get a video and then I'll put it in the community. And in the community, what you get is snapshots of trades that I'm taking in these charts as well. So the only thing you miss is I took a trade in this, but I didn't get to post it because it was Friday. And it was I think it was Friday or Thursday, and it was too late to post it out. So the trade is already gone. It was one of the buy. That trade was short. It was gone, and I didn't give you. I think I also took one on New Zealand, which you didn't get. But don't worry, I'll try to post more. As you know, sometimes when you're taking a trade, I don't want to post something that is post factum, which means when it's gone, I'm not going to post it. You can't take advantage of it. If there's a trade that is going to happen, and by the time you see it in an hour or two, it's still valid, I'll post it out. But if I'm taking one that is no longer valid because the trade is already active, then there's no sense posting it for you. That would be after the fact. I don't plan to do that, right? So we might get a trade here today. I think this consolidation is a good one. We'll buy it. You can either put this with this one. You can put it to the past, and the same thing. If it is making a running flat, it will come back here and go. We'll keep a stop here. I'll show you where the stop and the entries that I am putting on, so you can decide to see if you understand the trade setup. CAD-yen. Let's go here. Big picture, I don't see this going with anything. There is one here. If you look at it in the hour, there is one here. But it's not quite equal to that, as well as this move up is really sharp. So I don't think that's the running flat. There's a high probability this comes back to this level and then go. Now, that's an iffy one because we can't be sure about this, especially the fact that this is consolidating here for one more up. So I think stay away from the CAD-yen. Trade the CAD dollar, trade the dollar yen. Stay away from the CAD-yen, right? Swiss yen, it's going up. Now, there are two ways you're going to look at this. The first, you have a buy setup here. You can see this forming a flag there for a buy setup. That's a trade you can take. You have a nice running flat there. You're going to have an impulse more to the upside here, at least breaking the stop, and then you can decide what to do with that trade. Now, you have to watch this because it is a little confusing in the amount of waves we have. See how this looked? So we knew this was 1, that's 2, this was 3. This is the problem, that sharp one in the middle. That just makes a little confusion. So we decide we look at it as 1, 2, 3, and this one here is 1, 2, 3, and that completed this flat, which means you're getting 1, 2, 3, and this should go back to the top there. But it might not go if we're wrong about it. If we're wrong about it, then we're making some kind of a more complex pattern. Then this one might just break the top, come back here, make a new low, and then go. So if you're taking this trade, knowing that, having that information will make you be careful of the trade, which means you're going to move your stops and see whether they get to the top, follow it to the top. If it goes there, good for you. If it doesn't, then you're actually aware of it and you'll get out of the trade before it becomes a loss. That's it. It's not the best trade, by the way. Aussie Swiss, there are better trade setups than that. Aussie Swiss, we're in a big sideways move. You probably stay out of it. There's a big sideways move going on here. Eventually, you need this and you need that. So it's a waste of time to go into details of that. We will probably look at it more detail in the trading room, but for trading purpose, I think stay away from it. Aussie CAD, look for buy setups. I think we might have buy setups already. Here's what you have. You have this single move going down. This is a single sharp move going down. See how sharp it is? See that? Single sharp move. And you're getting divergence. So at some point, this is either going to go back as a sharp move up, or you're going to make a correction going up here, come back here, and then go. Now, why could it go back up as a sharp move? This might be some future running flat, first wave in a future bigger running flat. But since you're at the bottom and you have divergence, if you get a buy setup, take it. You're actually getting a buy setup now. Let's go to 15 and let me see something here. This might be the first impulse down on a bigger flat, which means this could come back here. And if it comes back there, that's your buy setup. See, you actually want it to come back, so it's a safer trade for you. But it's up, so wait for the buy setup. Can it drop one more? Let's just assume that I'm wrong. And can this drop one more? It can, but we don't have the setup for the drop. This was the sell. We sold that last week. I think all of you remember that, right? I don't think it's going to go more. I think we're going to going up. So if this gives me a flat here, this is a perfect buy. I would be in this buy to the upside if that happens. Aussie, New Zealand, maybe a little more down, right? Maybe just a little more down here, or that is enough, and then we're going up back, right? Because you can see the running flat. I think this one is simple. This is the equal of that, but it might not go. So if you get a buy setup here, you can start trading it to the upside. Trading it to the upside would be really, really difficult. Remember this one? I told you can buy it and stay with it. You'll have to have patience. You'll have to have a lot of patience buying this to keep it too. EuroCAD. I think you stay out of this for now. We're not clear whether you're going to. It looks more like you can get one more down. It looks like you can get one more down. But this piece is very strange, this down move here. It's not very impulsive down. Rare times you do get the impulse ending like that, but it's not common. This is a perfect correction. And this is starting to look like it's making a correction here too, which would be strange as a pattern. First, for the impulse to be like that. And even if we're thinking running flat, then these two are very strange to look the way they look. Normally, those are sharp moves, like I showed you in the Aussie yen, right? They're sharp moves. So stay away from this until we're very clear what pattern is at the end of the structure. Is it a bigger correction for one more down? And then we'll let you know. Tomorrow you'll know. You are New Zealand. Okay, so where we are in the bigger picture, we're not going to get more upside. I think we're going to go down from this point. We can easily assume that from this point, this one is all the correction you have, and we're going down. See, that's all the correction. So we're going for one more down. I cleared all the lines in this one. I had lines in this. So big picture, what is doing? Let me give you a little big picture review. So because we had a lot of lines here showing you where we think it's going to go, and then it's going to go back up, and those lines are gone. So let me give you a very quick review. You've got one here. You've got two up, and I think this is making a running flat because we had a big flat in the middle here. So I think this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going back up like this. See that? We're going back up there. Then we'll complete this, and then we'll look for downside. See? So right now we're going down, and I think there's a little more to the downside. Yep, we're already going down. So if you get sell set up, go with it. Can it actually make more big consolidation? It can. They can actually make this bigger, but I don't think we'll make it bigger. I think this consolidation is already perfect. Right? You've got a sharp move up. Remember, we were looking for that we actually thought it would go much higher. Now it's coming down. So I think just we'll look for sell setups anywhere here and there, go for the trade. Wait for flags, wait for setups, and go for it. If it's going to go back higher, we'll see tomorrow. Let's assume this is just a consolidation. This is a pullback, right? For the start of some kind of a move that is going to go once more. It's possible. I wouldn't exclude it, but I don't think it's an equivalent of this. So that's the difference. That is why I think it's most likely downside. Euro yen. Okay, so we've finished the consolidation. We've got this. See what the running flats look like. Remember this? I told you we're going to come back, and we're going up. Look for buy setups. From this was a buy, that was a buy. I remember calling this buy. It's slow. It's very slow to the upside. Honestly, if you're in a trade, you might take break even instead of taking the trade because it's not going very fast. You're getting another buy setup, and it probably will go slow. You'll have to have some patience. It will break the top, and there's a bigger move to the upside in this one. And I think they can get to the top of that bigger move on the daily structure. That is to this top, pretty much like the dollar yen. Getting back to this top because we came to the low. It's a big flat you're looking at. See? This one, right? It's a big flat you're looking at. So I'm not sure whether they'll go now and break the top or we get any deeper correction, but there's no need for a deeper correction. We already had a big correction in here. Already had a pretty big correction here. So I think they can go now. Let's see. Go back to the 4 hour and the 1 hour. The 1 hour has a buy setup. That's it. Go for that buy, and then if you're lucky, they go fast. If you're not so lucky, it will climb very slow. Euro Swiss, sell setup. This is a perfect sell setup here. See that? You have 1, 2, 3 there. Come back here. See that? 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3. You've got this one here, and you're going to get this drop here, probably pull back, go there, and then upside. So there's a sell setup here today. If you're lucky, that drops much more. If you're lucky, this will drop much more than this. A perfect flat setup here for a sell. See this? You can't ask for better ones than that. You have everything you need in this pattern for the sell. I think that will break out of the structure as well, because we have this perfect flat in here. See that? We have this perfect flat in here. So we have this perfect one to be a flat. So I think this is going to break through the structure, at least break that low. That's a good trade. Remember, the dollar Swiss has something very similar. So if the dollar Swiss, the euro Swiss, and all the Swiss pairs lined up, keep an eye on them. Euro Oz looks downside, at least this piece. Yep, looks more downside. They probably come back up a little here. This will probably go back up a little there. If you get that small flat there, go for this sell. Euro Pound, stay away from it for a while because it's not very clear. We've got a sharp move here, and we've got 2 sharp moves. We have no idea what to do with them. So it might make a sharp move here, give you a flat, and then go down back. So the downside is not very big because we have this sharp move, we don't know what to do with, and we have this sharp move, we don't know what to do. So it might just finish this one first, come here, come down there, and then do this, finish this one. They always happen, right? Remember, I showed you already in a few pairs. They always happen. So first they will have to finish this one, go down a little, then go back. So if we start to get buy set up after they finish that, that would be okay. Right now, stay away from it. Pangos. Pangos is going up. Let's see. The bigger picture is downside. There's no question about that. The big picture is downside on this. See that? Now, here's the interesting thing. This doesn't look impulsive to the upside. So that means we are left with this one and this one as impulses. Now, it doesn't matter how far this climbs. Once it starts to come down, it might come back here, go back up there, and then drop. So we might be stuck in this sideways move for much longer time than we think. Now, this sell is always a good setup. If you get the sell, we don't have a sell setup here. See? So, well, right now what you're getting is a flat. You've got to move the pullback. You got to move that drop. You got to move the pullback. You're getting a drop here. You probably pull back there. You'll get a flat like this, and then you'll probably be looking for the downside. So if they stay here in that consolidation like that today, we're looking for a sell setup. But it's incomplete as it stands right now. It's incomplete for a sell. It can go. I can actually see this piece looking like a short-term sell. But because of that sharp move up, it's incomplete as a sell setup. It might just come here and go back up there, give you this one. And now you get the sell setup. So that would be the sell setup. I think we'll get a sell setup here sometime today, at the end of the day, or sometime tomorrow. Pound New Zealand, we're in this sell from the top. I showed you this, I think. We took the sell from the top here. I'm still in this. One of my trader and his brokers get stopped out because there was a spike there before. Somewhere here there was a spike. It exists only in a few brokers. I think that's not a real spike. I think the brokers were they just tried the thing and got, they had on their platform, they had probably a lot of traders who were selling it and they decided to clear you. That's individual to the broker. It has nothing to do with what the price was doing. There was a little spike, a very small spike. I think it was this one here. There was a very small move up, but not a spike like some brokers did. Some brokers just used the opportunity to clear out some trades that you guys had on. If you're that broker, basically. Those are just wicked brokers. So what we have here now is we've got to move up, and we're getting a 1, 2, 3. We'll probably go back up there, complete the flat here, and then come here. See that? just like this. They made a flat, complete the flat, go up there. Remember that one, right? So now they're here. From this point, we're either going to go up totally, or we repeat the 1, 2, 3, come back down here and then go. It is an up move. It's whether this is going to be a three-wave structure in here before they go, or whether this 1, 2, 3 is enough for them to go. That's all. That's how simple it is. It's a sell setup, but not as yet. You have to be careful. I'm in the sell, but I'll decide to exit. I might exit once it comes to this low. I might close the trade because if it goes back up there, we'll sell it back from the coming down. Punkad? Okay, this one is a little strange. It's going to go down. I closed my trade in it. I had a trade in it. I need to put back all the lines here. I closed them because I had about 50 something lines in this one, and I decided I'm going to close it. Let's go to the daily very fast, give you a refresh of what we're looking at. Here is the first line you're looking at. I'm going to try to put less than 50 something lines in it. This is the first one you're looking at. We're in a flat pattern. Here's the second one you need to know, this one. That confirms you're in a flat sideways move, right? Let's come internally in here. This is the top here. This is the bottom. You're in a sideways, you're in a second sideways move. You're in two sideways move, right? So I'm not going to put lines because too much lines will be in it, right? So you have this one here and you have this one here. And now you work with the patterns. We have 1, 2, 3 in the middle here. We have 1, 2, 3 up there. Remember, I was showing you those. If you go back, watch the webinars, you'll see them. We broke this top. That is important that we broke that up because whatever we're making now is becoming a running flat, which means this 1, 2, 3 broke this top of this move coming down. So we're not expecting to break the low of that move. We're expecting to make a running flat and then go back up. Right? We're expecting this should come down. We're consolidating here. And then we will come here and then we will go back up there. I'm not expecting them to break the low. So you have a sell setup forming here. And then you're going to go back up there and then you're going to come back down. So once we get this trade and we come close to the low, we'll exit the trade and look for buy setups. What is the sell setup? It might, no, it's not ready. So what you're going to have is a bigger one here. We sold this last week. Remember all those sells? If you were there, you remember this one. So guess what? I closed this. I was actually in hit from here, I think, and then I managed to close somewhere. I can't remember. Some of the trades more I was in, I closed them, all for profit. So we got this and we're getting this. Now we're getting this. So this means that this might just come back to about this level. That is a sell setup, by the way, short-term trade. Go back up there, give you a bigger flat, and then probably downside. So we'll just be in this bigger flat. We'll get a sell and we'll get a buy, and then we'll get a downside. So there's a sell setup forming, but it's a very short-term one. You have to be good at getting out very fast. Pangyan, more upside. If you took the upside already, you want to close it for profit, close it for break even. You should have done that already, and now you're putting it there. So what we're doing is consolidating here now. I think this would probably make some bigger consolidation here, and then go. Probably find some consolidation. I don't know what it's going to do, but most likely it's going to consolidate. I don't think it's coming deeper as yet. We don't have any sign we're going deeper. It's looking like it's going to go sideways and then upside. Pound Swiss. Okay, we're going up, so where to after this? We broke out, we consolidate, and we're still going. That by itself doesn't really mean anything as yet, because we could still go down. We just have to take one trade at a time because this is a small one, and we still have this sharp move here. See? We've got a 1, 2, 3. Some point here they'll go up, give us that sharp one. If we get this flat here now, that confirms bigger move up. See? So let's see if we're going to get a drop today. Is it ready for a drop? Not as yet. Maybe you're getting a flat for a sell here. See? You're getting a sell setup there. Now that might be the one that drop, or that might just do this and go back up. So if you take the trade, you'll have to get out for break even before it goes back up. Put it to break even. If it keeps dropping, good for you. You're in the bigger trade. You're looking for this bigger one. This bigger move down here. See? So let's see. New Zealand Swiss. This one is going to come down back. You got this move. See this here? You got that there now. So you have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3. Look for this one here. Look for that trade. That's the trade you're looking for today. New Zealand CAD. We didn't break the low. So the strange thing is if you didn't break the low, it's not ending the structure. So whatever is happening here might still come back here. We could be stuck here for a while. I don't think this is all the B part of it. This doesn't look like the A part. This doesn't look like the B part. So we're probably stuck here in some kind of a bigger corrective structure. Stay away from it for now. There is a short-term sell setup here. It's already forming. This piece, I would put it this way. I'll put this as a running flat. This would probably crawl its way up like this, break the top, and then come down. Now it might come like this, 1, 2, 3. If it comes 1, 2, 3 like this, then you have this bigger flat here, and then you crawl your way up back and then come down. Stay away from it. Let that do what it's doing, and then we'll look for the trade to the downside because that's a consolidation. If you do all of that, you'll consolidate. It will not go up. Can it be they're going up from? We didn't break the low. If we broke the low, that would be perfect buy setups, but it's not ready as yet. So let's wait and see. Cat Swiss. Take this out. Take these out. And take this out. You're still consolidating, right? This whole thing is just a big consolidation. See that? Which means eventually this goes up. There, it's not ready for the buy setup, but eventually it goes up. So you can put this here. Come on. 1, 2, 3. It might be over. We actually do have a complete pattern here. And the buy setup is there already. Because you have 1, 2, 3 up, you have 1, 2, 3 up, you have 1, 2, 3 down, and you're getting a small buy setup here. I hate to buy it inside of this piece here. So I'll probably wait until they break out and make another flag and then look for a buy setup. It's not the best trade. Let's go. I'll go through everything because this is how we do the daily webinar. We do everything and there's a lot of it. So you have to have some patience. I'll go try to go as fast as possible. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't like it, right? You can watch just parts that you were interested in. Go to this. This is copper. Copper is making a flat, so they'll probably go down some more. US oil, good. This is interesting because I think I showed you the daily. I don't remember if I did. I showed you the daily. And based on the daily, we're either making a bigger correction right now, a much bigger correction, or we're likely going to retest the low. I'm more inclined to believe it's a bigger correction. So we're consolidating here for a move to the downside. See? Now you just have to go to the 4-hour and you can see that we're consolidating in this lower level here. See this lower level consolidation? We'll probably do this for a while and then we'll look for this move up. Just like they did it for a while here, and you look for a move up because it's coming this way. See? You had the bigger one here. Here is a bigger version of it. You can see it, right? It's pretty clear. You can see this one. So if you can see them all, the same thing happens here. If you can see this and it's going to drop, you better get the trade. But can you trade inside of this? Well, we have been doing that actually. We even got a nice trade from this one here on Friday, right? And you might get another good trade here. This comes down here. You might get a trade to the upside. I don't think it's over. I think we're still going to do this for a while. So you might get a trade to the top. You might come back here again, get another trade to the top. The sell is the one you want. Don't miss it. Any sell setup you get, you should take it. I think today we're getting a buy setup. This would consolidate here and go up, break the tops, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Same with UK oil, right? It's a little different. This might be even a little better. And this one here would probably go break the top. You're looking for something that is a 1, 2, 3, something like that. Go there, maybe pull back, go something like that. Give you a big correction here, and then downside. Natural gas, it's in this up corrective structure, and you're getting some corrections here. So you might get a buy setup there, short term. I still think we'll go and break this low first. I still think this pattern will eventually, this here would eventually break the low and then go. So you can even ignore that and go for this trade when it happens. but that might take a while, right? Nasdaq, let's see what this is doing. You got an upside, take this out. That was your buy setup. There are two buy setups. This was a buy setup, take that out. Now you have a flat, see? Now you have a flat forming here inside of this impulse. Well, by rule, this should start to go down. You might get a little more up, but then it should start to go down, which means at the top there, any sell setup you get, you should take, right? We can pull this all the way to the bottom here. Any sell setup you get should be a good one because you're making 1, 2, 3. You have 1, you're making 2, and you're looking for 3. So let's go for it. Let's see in the 1 hour what we have. Put this here. You do have a sell setup, and if you trade, this is a perfect sell setup. Regardless of what's the outcome of this trade, is a perfect sell setup. It comes back a little here and then look for the drop. If they stay here higher, ignore it because you're going to get one more up. If it becomes a flat, you don't trade it because you're going to get one more up. If it stays as a flag, it's a sell. Now, there's a huge difference between those two. And it's very important. All turning points could always have one more up if it becomes a flat rather than a flag. So you would never know which is the turning point because you might think this is the turning point, then this consolidates here, then it does this and go one more up. You get an impulse, you start to get a flag, it's a sell setup until it becomes something like this, do this and one more up. You get a sell setup, that's a sell setup. This would be a flag. You try to trade this flag down. If it's a flag, it's going to go. So every time it's a flag, you take it. Every time it's a flag, you stay out of it. You're starting? What is this one? You see the structure and everything, and this is different. We don't have the same structure we had there just now. And this is quite different. This is a correction. Go up. You're just trending up. You can look for more upside here. Let's see if we have more upside. We're getting some divergence, but that's never the end of the move. So, yep, you're getting some consolidation here. You get some consolidation. You get one more up. How high? Well, that's your guess. You can put whatever you normally use to find targets and see how high you think it's going to go. But at any time, it could stop. So you take profit once you get an impulse out of it, take profit. S&P 500, that's it. 50, S&P 500, let's go. Put it in the 4 hour, and we're trending up, right? So which means that at any time you take a flag, take profit because it could just, go and then eventually it's going to drop. So every trade you take here should be treated as if it's going to be the last trade up. Take your profit off. Any sell setup you get at this level is a good one. Right now, you don't have a sell setup. You're getting a buy setup. See, you're getting a consolidation here for upside. Let me make it bigger so you can see. What you're getting is a small consolidation for upside. Very small consolidation, but for upside. At least one more impulse up. Next, and then if you get sell setup, the DAX already gone. It's a trending one. It's going. There's nothing to do there. You have to wait for flags. A200, we're still in the sideways move. And right now it looks like it's more downside than upside, this piece. So you might find it drop to this level and we'll still probably go back up. We'll still be in this thing. You see this one here? That big correction and then they drop. It's possible this could drop, but if it doesn't drop to the low and they come like this and come back here, like that, then we would look for continuation to the upside. Which means that this whole thing would be the low at this point. I don't think it's the low. I think it's more of a running flat. So let's wait and see. Nifty. Okay, Nifty didn't break to the upside. This one didn't break. You're getting more of kind of a consolidation here. I don't like the sell setup, but you can attempt at the sell setup, especially if this breaks the low here. If this breaks the low, you can go for a sell. Might be a short-term one, but it's worth going for it. Tesla. Upside. We're back at the top. It looks like we're going to go down again. See? They came back to the top. Now they can go back here and then go up. So if you were in the trade, I hope you exit the trade. Wait for the breakout now. If you don't get a breakout, they come back to the low. Again, when they break this low, you look for a buy setup again. Amazon, look for the buy. I've been telling you this is a big flat here. Look for the buy setup, right? And this one, SLR. Let me do PayPal. I wanted to, because there's a question on Tesla and PayPal. So this here looks for one more sell. Maybe then we'll get the upside. It's more sell setup on the bigger time frame too. So let me look at PayPal to show you PayPal. So I said PayPal, watch, we were here. I said it's probably going to come here and then it's going to drop. And I said you should be buying Tesla last week, remember? And somebody said, how are you saying that PayPal flat is going to drop, but Tesla is not going to drop? So let me show you the difference between them. This is an impulse, and this is the flat. But we are here. This thing just needs to do this, and then it can drop. Right? It doesn't need to go very high. All you need to do is break that up. So if you had to buy it, the risk to reward on the buy is not that clear. It's not a big move up. You have to put a stop here. You have to enter here, and the target is only there. So the risk to reward in this trade is not very good. So I said, let it come there. And if you get a sell setup, it starts to drop, you can go with the trade. But let's go to Tesla. Same pattern, right? But look at the risk to reward if you're buying here, because this could go really much to the top there before they come back. It's different patterns. So I said, buy this up until it breaks out, and then it's going to come back down. I agree with you. Yes, there are two big flats, but these flats are different. They're different in nature, how it is. So if you have to buy one of them, you buy Tesla. When they both go up and start to come back, sell PayPal. Because PayPal is at the bottom. The flat on PayPal is here. It's like this. There's a huge difference in this flat and in something that does that. So I hope that helped you. Because there was a question on Facebook. What's the difference between those two, right? Amazon, buy. Amazon is doing exactly what we wanted to do, step by step. I've been keeping these arrows here for you for more than a month to show you how these patterns develop slowly but surely. SLR, good sell. If you took the sell, you might still get some sell here. They're consolidating. I doubt, we'll have to look at it here. If this looks like it's going to go back one more, it's possible. So you guys will have to look at that. Keep an eye on it for the day. And see if this is going to make one more spike to the upside. If it just do this and come down, then that's a sell. But if they decide to spike up anywhere here, you get a flag, buy it. I think this one was easy, right? You had a flat here. You see the flat, you sell it, right? This is still consolidating for upside. This whole piece is consolidating for upside. As of now, it's still a consolidation that looks upside. Let's see the bigger picture, see if we're turning. We could be, but it's not confirming that as yet. Here's what we're going to do. You see this one? If this is trying to do this to come back here, any flag you get after they drop, once they break through this level, any flag confirms we're going to this level. Any flag after that, that's the impulse up. We break that, any flag is confirming downside. Reliance, yep, works like magic. It's coming back, and this one is going to come down more here. So look for sell setups. PayPal, I just showed you. PayPal is going to drop really hard. See, they're even struggling to go break this little top here. That little one there, they're struggling to go. Which means that maybe, just maybe, they might do this, and then you look for your sell setup. Not necessarily this is the one that's going to fall. They might come back here and go back there and come back here and go back there and then fall. But every time you get to the top there, you get a sell setup, you can take it. Let's go. Cryptos, Bitcoin. Yep, it's coming back down. So look for sell setups here. See, they already break that. They're starting to come down. That's a sell setup. So we can go with this, put this here. And if this is going to come down back, then we would either look at this as a bigger correction, right? Something like this 1, 2, 3. This is a bigger one, and we go for another 1, 2, 3 here. So the correction becomes a bigger one. Could it be it's a turning point? I don't think so. I still think there's a chance it can go one more high. This could be your high. This piece here could be your high. If you look at this as some kind of a flat there, but I don't think that's the flat. But if you get sell setup, take it. If you're getting sell setups, even if they're just correction, take the sells. This is one when you're at the top and you get sells, you want to take it. right? If you get a sell setup and you can clearly see a sell setup here, take the trade. It drops it, make another flag, sell it, make another flag, sell it. Take one flag at a time, see how far it takes you. XRP. Good, we got that spike up. So let's see where the bigger picture is taking us. Okay, so we will go with the flat pattern like this, the contracting flat, which is what we were saying last week. That's an option. You've got another running flat here. I think this one. Go with that. You've got another one here. So once we break this stop, we're going to go with 1, 2, 3. After which we still have to get this down. And then the upside starts. Now, how far would the running flat go? That's the question. The question you would ask, well, how far can this running flat go before we get this sharp move down? This one here. How far can this go before we come back for this and then go? Well, that's anybody's guess. It normally doesn't go very far. Here might be a good example of one. See this move up? How far did this come before you get that sharp wave? See, they came down a little here, then they give you that sharp wave, complete that running flat pattern, and then continue to go down. So once we complete this running flat pattern, which is this one goes up to the top there, we're come back here, complete this running flat pattern, we're going to continue to go up. So let's see. When is it going to drop back? If you're in the buy, you don't have to worry about it. Just keep buying. You can set it up to exit when you think it's going to turn. I believe we'll break this stop before we turn. We'll break this stop before we turn. So we might get one more push to the upside, and then we'll look for the downside. All right, we'll see. I do think they'll come back to make this one and then go. .USD, well, this is going up, so this becomes this flat. I think we did this already, and if you wait for correction, it might still go. Just keep set up for this one. This here is we up in the top already. We've got this sharp move down. We've got that one. We've got this one, and we're getting this. I don't think that's an equivalent of this as yet, but you could get some more downside. I think you can start to look for sell setups on the break of this. Right, if they give you a flag here for downside, go for the sell, because we have this sharp move to deal with. All right, so when all this correction is finished, you have to come back here and then go. So downside is very likely. ETH, well, we broke the top as expected. We wanted it to go and break this top. Well, then they also broke this top. So you're looking for a running flat, which means this should come back somewhere here. Give us a running flat there, and then go back up. So there's some down move here probably this week, and then up next week. That will complete the bigger running flat, and then more upside. You're going to complete this one here, and then upside. This flat will be completed. Normally, that's what we see in the behavior. We'll see whether they change anything in that behavioral pattern, but that is what you'll normally get. So if you get sell setups, look for it. Go for it. We don't have any sell setups yet, but if you get it, it'll go for it. Dash. Let's see this is doing. Also coming down. This is trying to come down, so it will probably come back to retest these lows. See? Come back to retest these lows. Look for sell setups. You can see you've got a sharp move down. You've got a flat pattern here. Look for downside. TRX. Okay, what's this? That's a sharp spike up. What was it doing? What's the bigger picture? Let's see what we have here. We're heading back for the top because I can't find the flat. And if there was a flat here, I need to see this. We put this on a few days. If there's a flat here that completes, like if there was a pullback to the upside there that completes that flat, this move down, correction move down, then this would be the low. This would have to be some kind of a running flat here. I don't see that. It's probably small. Let's see that in the bigger picture in the daily. Sorry, go in a little. It actually had a flat here. You had a flat of your own here. Or you could even go with this bigger one, We've got another flat here. So yeah, that buy was a good one. That would make sense in the buy there. As a matter of fact, at least you can see this one and this one, those two buy setups. Now you probably wait for a correction. You can't buy at the top of the move. If it makes a correction here, if you get a correction here, then it becomes a buy setup, right? If they're going to go back to test the top, wait for a correction, then buy. Wait for a 1 or a 4 correction and then buy. And you can see that, just wait for the corrections and then get into the trade. LTC, downside. This is downside. That's a perfect sell setup for downside there. At least one more down and then you can go up, right? And ADA, let's see. 4 hour. This is not clear. I mean, you have this move down, you have this move down, and you have a sharp move up. That doesn't make sense, right? So wait for this to give you some kind of move up here. And if we do that, we'll get 1, 2, 3. Then we'll look for one more down. And then that would probably be a better pattern. So either stay out of this, or if you're trading it, expect one more up short term. It's consolidating in the zone here, actually. So, okay, guys, I think we've completed it. You've got it. It's a pretty long webinar, something I want to make shorter when we do it in our daily charts, in our daily group webinar. But for the YouTube version, I'll just put everything together as one. I don't know if you watch it to the end. If you don't and you're looking at parts in the middle, you might still want to come to the end and see what is there at the end and then share, right? Watch it to the end and then share it. Thank you very much. Have a great week ahead and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.